All right, for number 5, we have to follow instructions. This is what I call an accomplish the goal question. So the goal in the question itself is really important. It tells you what to care about. If you're just reading this and going with whatever sentence sounds best, you are very likely to get it wrong because they know that people do that and they're setting up traps for you. You have to think of this as they want a specific thing and you need to give them that specific thing. What makes number 5 kind of annoying is the goal is very, very broad. Which choice provides the best transition from the previous paragraph to this one? So you got to follow instructions. They say they want to transition. That means we're reading the previous paragraph and we're reading the current paragraph. And that's a lot of reading. Normally, I don't read the writing passages. I just kind of go from question to question and just read the sentence that the question is asking about. But when there's a specific instruction like this to read something, you have to do it. Don't be lazy. You will lose points for no good reason. So let's take a look. We don't need to get too detailed. But the first paragraph says, Schindler and Brunskill were investigating possible causes, possible causes for the large blooms of blue-green algae or cyanobacteria that had been affecting bodies of water such as Lake Erie. In addition to being unsightly and odorous, these algal blooms cause oxygen depletion, so they're bad. Oxygen depletion kills fish and other wildlife in the lakes. Just weeks after the scientists added the nitrates and phosphates, the water in Lake 227 turned bright green. It was thick with the same type of algal blooms that had plagued Lake Erie. Okay, so they learned something. Great. I'm using just kind of dumb summaries here to get a rough feeling of what these paragraphs are about. All right, new paragraph. Now, I'm not going to read sentence 5 because that's the no change option, and I do not want to bias myself. So I'm going to skip right over it so I don't get used to it being there. I don't want to be influenced. So I'm going to go right here. The scientists divided the lake in half by placing a nylon barrier through the narrowest part of its figure 8 shape in one half of Lake 226. Ooh, that's different. Different lake. They added phosphates, nitrates, and a source of carbon. In the other, they added just nitrates, and a source of carbon was added. Schindler and Brunskill hypothesized that phosphates were responsible for the growth of cyanobacteria. The experiment confirmed their suspicions. Suspicions when the half of the lake containing the phosphates was teeming with blue-green algae. So this is another kind of experiment here. Hopefully you notice that 226 and 227 are different. If not, I still think you can get this. So if we look at the no change choice, let's go back to sentence 5 here. One mission of the experimental lakes area is to conduct research that helps people better understand threats to the environment. Great, I'm happy for you. But this is not about what we're talking about. We're talking about specific lakes and these 2 specific guys doing specific experiments. This is just a general, first sentence of Wikipedia sentence about these lakes. I don't care. So that gets rid of A. B, the experimental lakes area is located in a sparsely inhabited region that experiences few effects of human and industrial activity. Again, I don't care. I don't care. This is about these specific guys. I want something about them. To isolate the cause of the algae, Schindler and Brunskill performed another experiment, this time using Lake 226. So this checks a lot of boxes. It talks about the scientists, it talks about Lake 226, and it's very clearly introducing a new experiment. A lot of good signs here, but let's look at D. The process by which water becomes enriched by dissolved nutrients, such as phosphates, is called eutrophication, I think. I don't know. One little side note, when you encounter weird words on the SAT, don't bother wasting time trying to pronounce them. They probably don't matter. So this doesn't matter because I don't see that word anywhere else, and it's probably irrelevant. So C matches the dumb summaries that I was coming up with as I went. But I would have had more trouble with this if I hadn't read both paragraphs, because choices A and B definitely sound like intro sentences, right? I mean, how many book reports have you written in your life that start with some nonsense like this? So they're trying to get you. Those are traps. But if we read this, what we're told, it's very obvious that those things are irrelevant. If they tell you to read something, you have to read it. No excuses, no exceptions.